Good morning,
Oh,
Ninja
hello.
Ray.
I didn't realize that you could go live. Hi.
Yes, hello. Who's here? A lot of people. How cool is
Mhm.
that? Oh, look at all this chat. Good morning, Megan and Abby,
Ooh,
Mary Jo, Dana. Who's here? Everybody's here. Good morning, Pat. Yeah, Pat said I was just making sure you knew it was happening. I don't know what happened somehow. Yeah, 3 reminders in like 5 minutes went out, and
mhm.
super sorry about that. I promise that's not going to happen all the time. Good morning, Wendy. Good morning, Lisa and Debbie and Patricia and Suzanne. You made it. It's very early for Suzanne in California. I'm sure it's going to be beautiful in California today. Good morning, Adrian. Okay, so today, um, okay, good, you can hear me. Um, Wendy said she couldn't. Good morning, Nancy. And Isabel. Okay, so today after this, like after our sprint, I'm going to stay, and Adrian is going to stay, I think. But I'm going to talk about or be here to answer questions about writing on Medium, because every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern I teach a class, and so I'm experimenting with like making this call on Fridays a Q&A on the topic of the class on Monday. So the class this Monday, which Adrian can send a link for if you would like to join. If you're in the club, you can just come. If you're not in the club and you'd like to try a class with us, this is a good one to try because it's only $10. Yay, Jackie's here, day 2. Anyway, and hi, Marcy. If you would like to join us for that class, it's only $10, but I'm going to be here for a Q&A today about writing on Medium, in particular, starting publications, or designing publications, or whatever. It's the class is on creating Medium publications. In the class and today, though, I will be happy to answer questions about Medium in general. Although, the class part is going to be about creating Medium publications on Monday, and try to keep it on that topic. Although I like answering questions, so anything goes, around that whole kind of writing on Medium idea. So if you have questions about writing on Medium, get them ready, because right after the sprint, I will be here to answer them. Hi, Rebecca. Hi, Bonnie. Bonnie's getting her haiku fingers ready to go. Take that off now. That creating Medium publications should be good. I sent the link out for it pretty late last night because I forgot, and like 20 people have already joined, plus all the people who are in the club. So it should be a really active, fun class, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
There's the Queeners.
There's Queenie. Hi, Susan. Okay, we're gonna start in 1 minute. I'm gonna get my document. Ready to go. Okay. Oh, there I am.
You're here.
Good morning, Tanya from Omaha. We drove through Nebraska on our way from moving to Pennsylvania from Nevada, and I don't know why, but I really remember the going to Cracker Barrel there. I remember because May started barking and I had to go back.
I wasn't with you.
Oh, that's right. May started barking and the hotel called us and I had to go back.
Oh. She does.
Rick used the one with the applause yesterday.
Good. She has a
you're
big
using the one with the applause today. Silent
Yes.
applause. See how that
Maybelline
one
has a
goes.
big old grizzly bear bark. It makes sense that they called you back.
Yeah. But she sounds like a ginormous attack dog, even though she's super
Mhm.
sweet. She's got like a big old hound dog, like, oh.
Mm-hmm. All right, ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go.
Go. 5 minutes or 10 minutes, guys. Adrian, I can't mute myself.
I'll mute you. All right. All done. You have to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you because you muted yourself. It won't let me because you muted yourself.
Oh,
there we go.
There. I don't know why I have a hard time muting myself. How'd you guys do? I got to page 315 or 215. So 5 pages of my edit today. I had to write a little bit. So Samuel's here. Hello, Samuel. How'd you guys do? How'd you do, Adrian?
270.
Good. Let's see. Hi, Katie's here. I'm gonna go back to my other, just because it'll be easier when I'm doing the live or the Q&A. Let's see. Lisa didn't want to stop. Bonnie got 5 haiku. Good job. Wendy got 597 of stream of consciousness. Jana got 270. And she's at a point where she doesn't want to write anymore at 42,000 words. Right in the halfway point. Sounds about right. Ashley got 433. Lisa edited 3 pages and wrote 2. Good job. 250 for Rick. That's a whole page. 239 for Pat. Isabel said stuff poured out. That's good. Marcy got 295. Debbie got 398. Nancy got a good page. I think Nancy writes by hand and an interesting idea. 165 for Rebecca. 100 words for Cece, and her article is almost done.
Nice.
Adrian wrote a draft for the Daily Cuppa. She's going to have to edit 45 words. Suzanne got 133. Uh-oh, she said the B word. Quarter in the bucket. In a jar. 395 for Abby.
Nice, Abby.
171 for Mary Jo. 536 for Nan about creative worship without singing. I think that's what she was writing yesterday too. 300 for Megan. 200 for Isabel. 107 for Priscilla. 112 for Tanya. How'd you do, Samuel? Or did you just get here as we were ending? Handwritten for Tanya on an intention.
Nice.
Good job, everyone. Everyone gets a gold star on their Fred. What else do we have happening today in Ninja Writers? Friday is my non-teaching day.
Yeah. I think we have the Vellum class tonight in the guild.
That's with Zach. That went really well last week. He got some rave reviews about the first lesson in that class. So if you're in the guild and you're interested in learning about formatting your work in Vellum, I think he went through a whole draft of getting a book up on Vellum.
Yeah. Oh, we have the voice, point of view, and dialogue class in the guild starting at 4 p.m. Eastern.
That's with Junita.
The Vellum class is at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Lisa wants to know how to create a Medium publication. What I wish I could do is share my screen, and can't do that. But maybe Adrian can share a link to one of my publications, maybe the Right Brain, just so you guys can make sure that we're on the same page about what a publication is. Alyssa in 3 minutes made a list of 16 story ideas. That's fantastic. Anyway, so Medium, those of you, if you're new to writing on Medium or you're not sure you understand what it is, Medium is a website where it's like a free blogging platform. It's designed by one of the designers of Twitter. So if you've been on Twitter, it should have a relatively familiar feel to you. It's obviously longer form. You can write, I've seen 20-minute articles. They rather than there's my publication. Oh, good.
So isn't it created by the same person who created Blogger or whatever that
He
popular.
created Blogger and he created, so it's Ev Williams. I think he created Blogger and he created Twitter. But the whole thing about writing on Medium is that it's easy. It's like very like what you see is what you get. So when you are writing a post on Medium, you just type it in and it pops up on Medium exactly the way it looks on your screen. And so if, say, writing on WordPress feels intimidating or is difficult for you, tech wise, Medium doesn't have any of that. It's very, very easy. So Medium is a blogging platform and it's also a publication. That's how I think about it in my own brain. It's a publication. So some work, and quite a lot of it that gets submitted every day to Medium, they do what we call curating. They call it curating. So we call it curating. Actually, I think they've shifted towards calling it distributing. But what they do is share your posts sometimes with their paid subscribers. So lots of people, I just read yesterday that it's 700,000 people pay $5 a month to read on Medium. And if your posts are behind the paywall and someone who is paying $5 a month reads Medium, you get a percentage of their read your post, you get a percentage of their $5. So, if you write enough, if you have a backlog, that can add up. I've made as much as $10,000 in a month writing on Medium. I don't make that much these days, not even nearly. I also don't blog as much as I used to because I'm here on YouTube, or I've just got other things going on. And also, Medium is pretty notorious in the distribution arena for changing things and their algorithm shifts or whatever, and they're not super transparent. So sometimes you're moving right along and you're doing really well and you're making a bunch of money, and then they change something and it stops. So it my opinion about Medium, I'm just gonna put this out there, is that it's still a really good place to blog, and especially if you consider it your blog and not like you're working for Medium and they're distributing your work. Like it you get more traffic directly from Medium than you would, say, if you were writing on a WordPress website that you own, and WordPress would send zero traffic to your blog. So you can still use SEO and let search engines drive traffic to your blog. So publications, though, Lisa wants to know about creating a publication. So here's my publication, The Right Brain. This is I would say, my main publication. I have several. You can have up to 7. And you can see this looks a lot like a website or a blog might. You get a cover photo. You can organize your posts so that you have tabs across the top. You get one external link. That's where it says Ninja Writers Club. If Adrienne clicked on that, it should take her to our website, I think. And then when you write on, so there you can see my post I wrote yesterday. And then there's several different options for organizing what your posts look like. So I've got, my newest one is bigger, and then underneath it should just have like a grid. Yeah, a grid of all my posts. And then if you click on those other tabs across the top, it gives you all of the posts that I've written in that. This is what's called a feature page. So this is like another little, go back to the BYOB challenge.
Okay.
This is like a page within the page of Ninja Writer. So it's like a website within my little website, or like a publication almost within my little publication. So it's all my posts about our BYOB challenge from last year that look like, they're all kind of designed or organized so that they look like another page. Click through them. Let's see what's on systems. This one is just a list. So this is a list of every post that I have tagged as system in my, with the word system in my thing in my publication, click on Medium. Medium is also, this is every post I have tagged Medium, so you can organize your you get to choose up to 7 navigation tabs, and they can be, so these ones are designed so that when I use a tag productivity, it shows up under this tab. BYOB is set up as a feature, so when I tag something BYOB, it gets added to this feature page. Click on the commonplace book project. And then this is another one that's a tag, and there's some other ways that you can do that, which we'll go over on Monday. There's several. You can also set it up so that, let's say, like for BYOB challenge, maybe actually in a month or two, because we're getting ready to start BYOB again, I might just have one blog post that introduces BYOB, and instead of having this feature page, when you click on BYOB, you might just get that one post that has like, hey, it's almost time for BYOB, and maybe it's got a link where you can go join my email list to join and get the emails about BYOB or something along those lines. So that's another way you can organize your posts, and then you can have one link that leads away. So like mine is right there's on the other side of that straight up and down line. Sorry, my voice. If Adrian clicks on that, it should take us to our website.
I have to like stop the screen share to do that.
Okay, never mind then. If Adrian clicked on that one, though, it would take us to, if you went to the Right Brain, it would take us to, when you click on that, it will take you to the Ninja Writers Club on our website. So I saw some questions come in. What are the rules? Alyssa says, what are the rules for submitting to Medium publications? I have been accepted as a writer for Medium. Medium was started by a Ninja writer, by the way, Susan Brearley. She's fantastic. Marilyn Flower, who's also a Ninja writer, writes on there all the time. But she's not does not know how to actually submit an article. So I wish I could do this myself, Adrian, but can you click on like write an article? Oh, no, you can't. Can you sign into my Medium?
Yeah, hold on.
I'll show you how to do this. It's very easy. Bye, Wendy. Tanya asked, while Adrian's doing that, Alyssa, I am going to show you how to submit to a publication that you're a writer for. But Tanya asked, do you have to create this from scratch, or is this a blog page that's linked into Medium? This is something you create on Medium. It's very easy. You'll see that if you come to the base class. What is happening?
Sorry, hang on. Dog.
You'll see on Monday, if you come to the class, because we'll do it. You on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we are having a class where you will about creating publications on Medium, and we'll actually go over it step by step, and you'll be able to create yours in real time. It's very quick. You can make one. The hardest thing would be making your banner, which actually can just be a photo. So I'm going to show you how to do, like, just find a picture to put up there, because Medium will even put the words on there for you. You can be more fancy with your banner, but this is literally just a photograph, and then that I found on Unsplash, and then Medium put the words "The Right Brain Productivity," and it really, you can make a publication in like 15 minutes. Adrian, if you can click on like just to write a story up at the top. You know how to write a story. Yeah. No, Adrian. Okay, there. So if I wrote, so click on the 3 little dots. So stop. This is what it looks like when you're ready to write a story. So you write a title. So maybe just put sample or something. You write sample, you hit return. If you hit return, yeah, it lets you now write like sample subhead or something. And then you highlight that, like double click on it, and then click the small T, and it makes it a subtitle. can we get, yeah. So now you can see, and then you just write, like, put sample text or something. Right. And then, like, put a line above that so you can put a picture between, yeah, right above. So if you click the plus sign, click the little camera. No, sorry. Go back. Click the plus sign again. Click the looking glass, and then put in a keyword. So anything, dog. And then click enter. You're going to get all of these unsplash photos of dogs. If you pick one, it puts a picture right there. You can choose the size. I usually choose the middle one, but you can do one that's the width of your post. You can do one that's a little wider, and you can do one that's really wide, and you can also do one that's offset. For this, the main picture, I'd never do the one that's offset. I usually do the middle one. So this is your post, okay? Let's just say this is your post. If you click the three little dots, you see it says, let me see, where is it? Are you in mine? Where is it? It should say submit to. Oh, you're already in the right brain.
Yeah.
Go do it again. Or remove story from publication. Okay. Cancel submission. Okay, so now this is just a draft that I wrote. It's not, it says when you click on the three dots up at the top, it says add to publication, Tanya. Click on add to publication. It's going to bring up a list of all the publications where you are a writer. I have a lot of been writing on Medium for a very long time. So there's a lot of them that I am so I could pick any of those. Just pick one of mine, Adrian. So pick,
where are yours?
The everyday, they're just mixed in. The everyday novelist is mine. So if we send it to the everyday novelist, now when I click submit, instead of publishing, it's going to submit it to that publication. So if you clicked Medium and then you click submit, so if you click submit, now you are going to put in your tags. So just put writing and then, or whatever, it doesn't matter. And then click submit to publication. You're not publishing. It's going to the publication. Go ahead and click.
You want to make sure that this is check marked.
You want to make sure that it's set to earn money. And then you can also click to email a link if your story gets published. Right. So submit that to the publication. And now it's submitted to, in this case, the everyday novelist. In your case, it would be to Medium. So click OK. So now the publisher, and also you have to do this so you see I had to submit a story to my own publication. So you have to do this to get a post in your publication. And now when I click publish, it's the same thing. I'm going to put in tags. Don't actually publish this because it's. But here you can mark email a link to my subscribers. And if you do that, it's going to email a link to all of the people who have subscribed to your publication, a link to the post. So you want to make sure that that's clicked, and you want to make sure that meter my story so it is eligible to earn money is clicked if you are wanting to put your post behind the paywall so that you'll earn money with it. Oh, that wasn't Tanya. It was Alyssa asking that question. So I hope that helped, Alyssa. I hope that you understood all of that. If you have questions, I hope that you'll come to our class on Monday, because you will be, it's not on YouTube, it's on Zoom, so you can talk and we can make sure that you understand.
Tanya asked, did you have to create this from scratch in Medium, or is your own blog page linked into Medium? And it's not like your own website. It's
not your website. It's a page on Medium.
It's like a social media platform almost. Like,
so if you go to your see my little picture icon up there at the top, if you click on there, then you can go to publications. And that's going to give you a list of all of the publications that I belong to. But up at the top, it says new publication, and you click on there.
Do you want to,
we'll just show them. So if you click on there, then you get this, and it tells you all of, like how you just answer the questions, You can upload your avatars and your public, cover, and then there's ways that you can do the navigation. We're definitely going to go over this on Monday. You can add your social tags and add people as writers or editors.
But yeah.
What was your question? What were you going to say?
Well, I think Tanya's question was about the blogging.
Yeah, this is how you do this. It's on Medium. It's not.
But this is a publication, yeah. But so if you go to like her profile, she's got it. Everybody has a profile on, like, I think this will make more sense. Like you can see that, like, it's just like you've updated your status almost like you would on Facebook. So it's not like a web. You don't have like an actual website here. It's just like shopthegrimes.medium.com.
Right. It's more like if you had a TanyaLudwig.wordpress.com. So it's Medium owns the domain, and then you are writing have a blog or a publication. They call it a publication. I think of it kind of like a magazine, because that's what they used to call them years ago. On Medium, they called them magazines, and then they shifted to using the word publication. But it's kind of like a blog within Medium, kind of like if you have a WordPress.com blog, it's you have a blog within WordPress, and WordPress owns the domain. Tanya says, is Medium right or left leaning, and do they tend to make decisions about whether to promote an article based on their preference? So Medium is definitely left leaning. I would say I'm also definitely left leaning, so I'm not 100% sure about whether they. However, I have seen posts be distributed based on that are conservative. Tanya, are you a conservative writer? Because I would say there's definitely space on Medium for a conservative writer, because I know for sure there are conservative readers on Medium, even if it is left leaning, and even if the site itself is left leaning, and maybe most of the a lot of the readers are left leaning, there is space. However, I think you should be aware that a lot of lefties are going to read your stuff, so if you are a conservative writer, so be prepared for that.
I think that goes the other way too, because I feel like I write a lot about culture, and that has a lot of crossover with politics and more left-leaning politics. And I definitely still get a ton of comments on my stuff from conservative people too.
Yeah, so I don't write too much about politics, but I have, and every time I have had comments from conservative readers. So
both ways, yeah.
I think that but just be aware that I guess, as always, that if you're not preaching to the choir, just be sure that you're okay with getting comments from I have personally never gotten any hateful comments, but again, I don't write very controversial stuff. Mostly I just write about writing or productivity or whatever, and I'm not
there's definitely writing about religion and stuff is definitely
it's definitely a thing. But I also would say, Tanya, that there is space on Medium for finding an audience for conservative Christian stories. There are publications that you can join where somebody else. So with publications on Medium, some of them you can join them and they will publish your stuff, and you get in front of their audience. And my sister is a conservative Christian writer. Well, she's a new writer, but she's a conservative Christian. My sister Jill Kelly, you can look her up on Medium, and she writes for. I'm not ever going to remember the name. Maybe someone here knows the name. It was like Quan. It's a weird word that I don't. Kanoya or something like that, but it's a publication for Christian writers. So and I think there are several publications on Medium for Christian writers for sure. I think you can, Dana says you could, or I'm sorry, Alyssa says you could tag it that way and target your conservative audience for sure.
You also like on Medium, like it's still important to do things like enter SEO and things because like you still get a lot of Google traffic driven to there. So you know, even if Medium might be left leaning, like there's things that you can learn to help drive your own traffic to your stuff. And so
Yeah.
you just might need to make more of a stronger attempt to make sure that you're getting the SEO right and things like that so that your articles come up on Google more.
I hope that answered your question, Tanya. Let me know if you have any follow-ups. Isabel says, what about copyright for articles? Do you retain that? Absolutely. The one big thing about Medium is that you own the rights to your articles, even if you put them in another publication. So while publication editors may not particularly like you removing their posts, and maybe, you know, they have the choice to say remove you as a writer or not want, you know, if you just are constantly removing stuff from their publication, you have the right to do that, and they do not own your work, and Medium doesn't own your work. So you can definitely post things on Medium, let's say, to start building an audience and then put it all together. That's what BYOB is about. It means blog your own book. And it's about posting stuff on Medium to start building an audience around this particular topic, and then putting it all together so you could sell it as a book. So you definitely have the right to do that.
But you do, I mean, while you do retain the rights to your articles, but I would keep in mind that if you like do something like BYOB where you blog your own book, like places like Amazon require that you
only if you go on Amazon Kindle Unlimited. You can post your book, you can sell your book on Amazon, and it doesn't matter if every single word of it has been on Medium already. Only if you put it in Kindle Unlimited, because then you have to be exclusive to Amazon. So you'd have to take your blog post down, but you can, is my point. No matter who publishes it, even one of Medium's own publications, if you got published in one of those, you would not have to take those publication, or you would be able to take those down. You don't have to ask, you own the rights to them. So you retain every bit of copyright for your articles. And copyright attaches, at least in the United States, I don't really know about other countries, but in the United States, copyright attaches as you write your stuff. So you don't have to you don't have to register a copyright with the government or mail yourself a copy or anything like that. You just have the copyright because you wrote and published it. Mm-hmm. If you publish on someone else's publication, do you still qualify to get paid? Yes, in exactly the same way. And this way you're getting in front of an audience, even if your post is not distributed, the publication will be distributing it. And that has, varying degrees of success. Some publish so much that your post gets lost right away. Some have very small followings, but even a small following can make a difference if it's the difference between their small following and your following that is non-existent because you're just starting. So getting in most publications, if you see a publication you'd like to write for, what I would do is Google the name of that publication and the word submission, because most of them have submission guidelines somewhere. If you're in the Ninja Writers Club, you can you can Google Ninja Writers Pub, or Adrian can put our submission guidelines, and we'd love to have you. Melissa says, can we talk about how I earned $10,000 in 1 month? So in 2019, my friend Shannon Ashley, who is a major writer on Medium, told me that she had made she was making like $1,000 a week on Medium, and I was completely blown away. This was late 2018, and I was like, what? Like, I didn't even know that was a thing. I had no idea that it was possible. I was making a couple $100 on Medium at the time, and they had just maybe the year before, that year, or maybe late the year before, had even done where writers could get paid. And I was like, that's impossible. But she was making $1,000 a month, or she had made $1,000 in a month, and I had no idea. And so I was like, if she can make $1,000, I can make $1,000. And so I started writing every day. And she I don't know, I wrote every single day for all of 2019, often 3 or 4 times a day. I mean, I wrote a lot of content in 2019 on Medium. And as my income grew, her income grew. I never did catch up with her. She always made more money than me. It was I'm not gonna lie, did kick in my competitive streak. But for me, the more important, so I did get up in November 2019. I made $10,000 on Medium, and it was like nuts. Like I was like, what? And then there were a couple months between, like before and after, where I made, $7,000 to $8,000 or more. So that was pretty fantastic. However, I don't know if you guys will remember this, but right around that time, like December, January last year, or 2019, something changed in their algorithm, and my post stopped getting seen as much, and my income declined from there. But I also started the Ninja Writers Academy that year, and so I started teaching 5 or 6 2-hour classes a week, plus all the classes for the guild. I mean,
it was like a mixture of
what 2019, all those blog posts, like the money was really nice. However, what it really
built
did
up
for
your
me
evergreen.
is that it built up Ninja Writers so much that I ended up, like, it went from 2018, it was just me, and I had Zach working for me a couple hours a week to help moderate my email list and the Facebook, but I could run Ninja Writers by myself. And now we have a team of 7 people. And so I definitely recommend, depending on what your goals are, is trying to think bigger than the box of Medium. The reason to blog, I think, is to connect with your audience. I think every writer should be a blogger. I really don't see any reason not to have a blog. And there is no faster way to connect with an audience. There really isn't. If you learn SEO, if you learn how to use the right keywords so that people can find you, there are people actually actively looking for you every day. And if you put yourself in front of them, they will find you. And if you give them a way to connect with you, like an email, like an opt-in, or just a little form or whatever, so that they can join your email list or follow your publication or whatever, they will do that. And if you do that, once you have a certain number of people, you can do all kinds of things to connect with them, to offer them something that they need. Like if you pay attention to what they need, you can create that thing and offer it to them. And then you're not just blindly, wildly, like, writing books hoping to connect. You're actually on Saturday, we're doing, maybe Adrian can put in the link to the webinar, but me and Jackson Dean Chase are doing a free webinar about doing creating an income stream with short nonfiction. And for me, that ties in so tightly with
we don't want to be on there.
It ties in so tightly with blogging, because blogging is how you can judge or track what do your readers need. And like, I just released a book on last Thursday called Creating Income Streams, and I knew already before I wrote it that there was an audience for that book, because I had written about it on Medium, and there's a ton of traffic to that post, not from Medium. I mean, there was some from Medium, because I have a following there. I've been writing there since 2016, and so I have 35 or 36,000 followers. However, what I could see was that people were finding that blog post, my blog posts about creating income stream, from Google, way bigger than Medium. And since I knew people were searching and finding me for looking for creating income streams, I already knew there was an audience for a book about creating income streams. All I had to do was write it and then use good SEO so that it would put the book in front of those readers. Patricia asked, do I consider Medium a blog? Yes, I do. I consider Medium blogging. I consider Medium a blog platform. In my mind, I definitely differentiate. It's a blog platform, and it's also a publication. So if anyone can blog there, it's free, that you don't have to apply to, say, be behind their paywall. All you have to do is sign up you have to have a Stripe account. So you have to live in a country where you can have a Stripe account. But you attach your Stripe account, which is how you can let them know how to pay you. And that's it. You don't even have to pay the $5, although I highly recommend it. But if you want them to share your blog post with their readers, now they're a publication. So you need to do a little research and figure out what their aesthetic is. Like Medium likes lots of subheads and lots of white space. And if you, a big picture at the top, if you don't, a very, very clear headline, more like a newspaper headline than say a cutesy book title or something. So if you follow those guidelines, just like you would follow any other publication's guidelines, then they're far more likely to distribute your work to their readers. But you never have to worry about, they may, like, you could still write there and then it's a blog and you get just as much. If they never distribute you get just as much traffic from them as WordPress would send to you or whatever. Like, you just have to use good SEO so that you're driving your own traffic.
I think that the reason that Medium prefers like those more newspapery, stark type of titles is because that's it has better SEO, right? Like it means that, even if they don't distribute your stuff on Medium, it has a better chance of, that your article popping up when somebody Googles something on Google, which is good for them also because it gets them over to Medium.
Well, and they, like, they're going to look at stuff like, how's your grammar and your spelling. They're not going to read your post super closely, but if you have a lot of obvious typos, or you just have like a big old block of text with no punctuation or anything, like, they're not going to distribute that. If you go look at the posts that Medium has distributed, which you can do by looking at any of their tags, you will see that their posts have a look, and there's also, we'll go over this on Monday, but they also have guidelines. And if you follow their guidelines, one, your posts are just going to be better, whether they distribute them or not. They're going to look nicer. They're going to look more professional, and they're going to be what readers who come to Medium are expecting. And two, especially with the headline thing, they are going to
get wider
wider distribution, like, because they will rank on Google or whatever.
Where it like if you were to write that same article on WordPress is not as incentivized to like help make sure that you're to
like,
help.
my first book is called How to Outline a Book in 3 hours, right? And I wanted to call it How to Plot a Novel in 3 hours. However, when I did the research about the SEO, many times more people search for how to outline a book than search for how to plot a novel. Surprisingly few people search for how to plot a novel, and then the search difficulty for that is very high. It would be hard for me to rank. So I called my book How to Plot a Novel, or How to Outline a Book, even though I wanted to call it How to Plot a Novel. So it's about making decisions so that the people literally who are already out there actively searching for what you have to say can find you. It's pretty exciting. I get really excited about this stuff. Who else does Medium use SEO? The writer uses SEO. So Medium doesn't do anything about your posts. You never changes your blog. It doesn't edit it. It doesn't change your, but Google definitely picks up Medium posts for their, like, if you use good SEO, Medium or Google does, like, Medium posts show up in Google a lot. And in fact, if you search almost anything, you likely will find a Medium post close to the top. Same as you'll find an Amazon book if there is one. Dana asked, can you publish your article on your page and another publication? Not on Medium. So you can only be in one publication. If you're in, say, someone asked about Medium, that's a publication that someone else owns. If you're in Medium, you can't, your post will show up on your own feed and in Medium, but you can't also be in one of your own publications or anyone else's publication. However, you can cross post to your own blog if you have a website, or you can use that post, say, in another, like, You can submit it to another website. You can put it in a book, whatever. Because that publication does not own your work. They're publishing it, but they don't own any rights to it. Which means that the owner of that publication can't go turn around and say, make a, like, I own a publication called Ninja Writers Pub that is all work written by Ninja Writers Club members. And I could not ever, I don't have the legal ability or right. I could get sued if I tried it. I cannot go and take a bunch of those posts and write an anthology, like put them together in an anthology and sell it on Amazon. I would have to get permission and buy the rights from each writer to their piece before I could do that, because I don't own any rights to those pieces, even though they're in my publication. I also, just FYI, the editors of publications don't get paid extra. So like, we do this Ninja Writers Pub, but the writers get all the money for it. So we don't get anything for, it's just a way for us to let people have some experience working with editors. That's our goal with that.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Maybe you can post the link one more time, Adrian, to the Monday class.
Mm-hmm.
Samuel's got some self-promo. He's writing an article on Medium that he hopes goes to the Ninja Writers Pub. Thank you, Samuel. We love getting your stuff. Yep, you need to finish writing it. Who else has questions? And it can be anything about Medium. It doesn't have to be about publications. Anyone? Okay, going once. Oh, here we go. If I've already published something on my own page, which is not actually a publication, how do I remove it? Oh, so if it's not in a publication at all, you don't have to remove it. You just go up to that 3 little dots and click add to a publication, and then add it to a publication.
And like the story, when you write it, if you put it in a publication, it's still going to be on your personal page, like on your like on, this is Shanta's profile. Your post is going to be here, and you'll see where it says published in the right brain. It'll just say published in, and then whatever the publication name is, but it's still going to show up on your personal page.
Right. And then if it's not in a publication, then you can just add it to a publication by going to the post, clicking the 3 little dots up at the top and clicking add to publication. And if you have one that you've created, or you have one that you've been added as a writer to, then all you have to do is click add to click that publication. It will send it to the editor. If it's your publication, you're the editor, so then you can immediately publish it. If you're not the publisher, then it will be sent to, say, the Ninja Writers Pub or Medium or any of the publications that you have, the publication you've sent it to's editor, and then it may take time. So like at the Ninja Writers Pub, our goal is to make sure that you get a thorough edit so you can understand what it's like to work with an editor, like out in the real world outside of Medium. So sometimes it takes 2 or 3 weeks because we have a pretty strenuous editing process, and it's something we do in between all the other stuff we do, so it can take some time, which can be frustrating. Other publications just immediately, if they're going to accept you, they just publish and they don't edit at all. I know Katie Michelson's here. She's got a publication called The Daily Cuppa, which is for very short, like 150 word posts. I think she is doing some editing. So there's all different varieties of ways. Some publications just publish. Some publications do some editing, and some publications like the Ninja Writers Press do a ton. And some publications don't have any other writers. So for instance, the Right Brain here is just me and Ninja Writers team members and nobody else. I don't add other writers to that. Mm-hmm. Do you consider Medium transparent in the way they feature or pay writers? It seems so mysterious to me. I absolutely do not consider them very transparent at all. However, I don't know that it's their obligation to be transparent. It's their business model. I think all kinds of big companies like this, I think Amazon is often the same way. When people learn, like figure something out and then they start to game the system, then there's a change. And then they don't tell you exactly what the algorithm or the changes is because they don't want people to game the system.
Do you think it's more transparent than like if you were to try to monetize like your WordPress website?
Well, yeah, no less, right? Because if you were trying to monetize your website, your own website, then you would be the editor or the owner of that website. So then it's all you, right? And you're putting ads up, or you are selling something to your email list or whatever. So that's all, like, and you're just using SEO. And when someone Googles your keyword, then your post will show up. I mean, Google sometimes can be a little bit less than transparent, I guess, but they're pretty transparent. Like when they have a big change, it makes pretty wide news. Medium often changes things and you don't know that they've changed something until like what was working stops working, or yeah. So Medium can be a little bit non-transparent. Yeah, and then sometimes they put something out and it's actually less transparent than if they had just like they just decided to stop. I don't even know what, something about the they have their own publications, and for a long time they were putting a lot of their funds for writers into hiring hiring professional writers and giving them a ton of money, and then their own publications. That's why I was making a lot of money on Medium in 2019, is because I was getting in their own publications and they were like splashing them everywhere. It would be on the front page forever. And so I was getting a ton of traffic, which is why I made so much money. And then they just stopped doing that. So all of a sudden, like in December 2019, January 2020, they stopped putting so much emphasis on their own publications, and you could be in their publication. You could even be featured, right? It used to be if you were featured, you would be on their, they'd email their whole list. I mean, it was a huge, big deal. And then all of a sudden, now I don't think they do featured writers at all. But for a while, they still did them, but they didn't do anything. Like, so you'd be featured and it didn't do a single thing, right? You didn't get any extra traffic or anything. And that was something that just all of a sudden happened. There was no notification. So, one day I had a post in, I used to write a lot for, now I can't remember the name of the publication, the one that was about productivity anyway, whatever it was. And I used to write for them a couple times a month. And every time I did, I would get tens of thousands of, my posts would be on their front page for a long time. And I would get a lot of money for that. And that was awesome. And then one day I wrote one for them and it didn't go on the front page, and they stopped. They started, which was good for everyone. It was not great for my bottom line, but I was actually pretty happy because what they did was start putting, I don't know if you guys remember, if you've been on Medium long enough, for a while there, the entire front page was only Medium's own publications, which was great for me because I was getting published there, but most people weren't. And so, writers who were writing and their posts were nowhere on the front page ever. And readers were getting frustrated because they wanted to see the writers they wanted to see, not Medium's publications. That backfired on them. So they changed it, but without notification. So it was not very transparent.
So I think that the transparency is a lesson in, or lack of transparency is a lesson in not putting all of your eggs in one basket, right? So if you're 100%. Doing something really successful on Medium right now, it's not guaranteed that it's going to be successful tomorrow. So you want to take advantage of that current success by, like we did it by creating Ninja Writers Academy and Ninja Writers Club and things like that. Like when Shanta was doing really, really well on Medium because there was more eyes on her work at that time.
Right.
Even if it meant like we're going to get too busy to keep up that level of blogging. Now we have all these other income streams, because we didn't put all of our eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Is there any benefit to change the titles on articles published years ago for present day SEO purposes? I don't actually, I mean, I would assume yes. However, I'm pretty sure that Google, like if you have a really old post, so it's years ago, even if you change it and it has good SEO now, you can't change on your own website, you can change the date of when it was published so that it's fresher. It looks fresher. Google accepts it as a fresher post. Medium, you can't do that. So it's like if you wrote a post in 2016 and you change the SEO, it's still going to be a 2016 post. And in internet terms, like that's olden days, right? It's probably what I would do, Melissa, is write another blog. So you used to be able on Medium to take down a post and republish it so that it had a fresher date. They don't allow that anymore. That's one of those things that they changed with at some point. So you can't like put the same text on Medium, even if even if you remove the first time that was on there. And I think that that's a lot of that is about them trying to preserve their domain authority with Google, so that they don't have a lot of duplicate content. But so I would say there is probably some benefit, but the best benefit you could get would be to rewrite that article, use fresher words or use new words, but write on the same topic and then just publish a new post about the same thing. You can definitely write about the same thing more than once. What you can't do is just copy and paste the entire same article. And that's what I would do, but it can't hurt to do SEO, like to update a title on Medium so that it has a better SEO. It's just that I'm not sure that Google will rank that as high as, say, using the same SEO research and just writing a new post. Mm-hmm. Bye, Lisa. Bye, Tanya.
Bye.
Bye, Isabel. I think we're dropping off. So does anybody have any last questions? You're welcome, Melissa.
Don't forget to come if you have more questions or want a more in-depth overview of help creating your publication. I believe that's the plan for Monday too, is to walk them through.
On Monday we're going to everyone can actually make their own publication, and then they can share it and they can get feedback. And we're also going to go over figuring out what your publication, what you should be writing about, what you could be writing about, a publication that you could make. So it's going to be a lot of fun. It's a 2-hour webinar, or not webinar, workshop. However, if people want feedback and stuff, I generally, I have time. I schedule it at a time that I can stay and just help everyone. So last week's was about show versus tell, and it went an hour and a half over because I just stayed and helped everyone who wanted help. And I did some editing for everyone. So I will stay and answer every question and give as many people as want feedback. But it will be at least a 2-hour, with a class and then lots of time for questions and feedback. Mm-hmm. All right, guys, that's it. Everyone have a fantastic rest of your Friday. It's my day off after this, so woohoo. Love Fridays. Everyone, bye. Everyone, we'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern for our live sprint. Bye.